Hello and welcome back to the Gamer's Tale. I'm Trent Gander. I'll be your dungeon master for this evening. We join our party again on the Forging the Onyx campaign as they make their way to the city of Sula. Now, last time they did a lot of canoodling around. Bruno Watt was able to get his new living quarters all sorted out and have a very moderately unwilling wizard added to his employ, unceremoniously dumped on his floor by Holzborn's man Jacques, and it was a bit surprising for everyone. And they then eventually the next day hired some wagons and made their way toward the city of Sula. So we'll pick up where we left off as they approach the city. It's been about 2 weeks since you left the oasis because that's just how big this desert is. And when you approach the city, you can see it for a couple of miles off. It's this rather almost light gray stone. Obviously, it's still baked in the heat, but it's unlike the rest of the stone in the area, which is more of this dark brown color and more of a sandstone or kind of a pasty white, like adobe. And this is just solidly a gray color, rising up out of the desert. And you can see it for a good while off. As you approach, you see that there are a series of. Let me just get you over to the correct map. Yeah, that'd be great. No, meh. There we go. As you come over toward it, coming in from the south, you see atop the walls these massive machines pointed easily, from what you can see at this distance, as you approach outwards around the entire city. Bruno recognizes these to be a form of ballista, and there's kind of this upside down terrace cake look to it. As you get closer, you see that there's a slight overhang just around the outer edge of the walls that probably projects about maybe 10 feet or more. And as you start to pass through the massive front gates, you see that there are periodic holes in that overhang. As you get into the main tunnel that goes into it, it keeps going and going. There's torches spread throughout the entrance tunnel, and there's little honeycombs of medium to large doors and passageways that lead off of this place. And this goes for the equivalent of what you would think of as a city block. And there's not really much stopping you. There are a number of armed guard. They're all wearing these tabards over their armor that are a kind of very sky blue, and they have this encompassing circle of twisted thorns with an open spot, like a Christmas wreath made out of brambles.
I do have one question.
Yes.
Have I had any issues here?
Not that you can think of.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Are you a criminal? Not here.
Pretty much. All right. And as you continue to go through this enormous wall, Bruno, you remember that this place is nicknamed the Fortress, and you can see why. Now you emerge out into.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I've been here before, correct?
I would probably say, yeah, you've probably done some business in here.
Okay.
So as you come into the daylight that seeps in through the massive opening that is the center of the city, make a perception check for me, those of you who are here, since Tread wouldn't care anyway, but we'll roll it for him, just in case.
Perception is at disadvantage, so 6. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I backed out of roll 20.
Let me check something real quick.
Okay.
Tread rolls godlike perception when he's not here.
We'll just have Tread notice it.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Since doesn't matter. It'd still be a 6. But with my eyes of the eagle, they give me advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. As long as it's clear, and as long as it is clear visibility, I can make out the details of even extremely distant creatures and objects as small as 2 feet across. So that would put me at just a flat, normal roll because of my missing an eyeball. Regular roll.
Okay. Are you gonna roll again, then?
I mean, I can, yeah. I was cool with 6, but fuck it. If you're gonna let me roll again, I'll roll again.
Roll again.
Yeah, 15. I'll take that.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough. You and Tread automatically just look up, and it looks like the entire system that you saw on the outside is mirrored on the inside of the city walls as well.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The entire kind of defensive array that is on the outside of the city is mirrored, pointing inward toward the city as well.
So the ballista point inwards as well.
Hmm. And there's little overhangs and with holes in the bottom as well.
That's concerning. That is very concerning.
Also, hello.
Hello. You just
Hey.
you came into this massive city. Sula, there is a city block worth of wall around it, with a
Hot damn.
10 to 15 foot overhang on either side, on the inside and outside of the city wall that has holes in the bottom, and there are ballista pointing outward and inward, and not just like little ballista, big ones, which you noticed because of your perception roll that I rolled for you. You got a 23.
Sounds about right.
Inside, it's very kind of crowded. There's a lot of scaffolding around and other things. The buildings stack up. There's a limited amount of space within this enormous wall, but it's still livable, and they're still building more. But as you look around, you notice there are a large number of the guards, and there's also not very many merchant-looking individuals. You guys are pretty tough-looking compared to a lot of places, and you guys just kind of blend in here. There's more armor, more weapons, more individuals who look like they've seen the rough side of life a lot longer for an extended period of time.
All right, Trent. Derringer is going in the pocket. It is cocked. Hand is resting on it as I walk through.
All right. Do you dismount from the wagon?
Oh, I thought we had already gotten off the wagon.
No, you guys. This is what you see as you come in.
No,
And
I'm
just
staying on
pass.
this. I'm staying on this motherfucker then. From the wagon, I'll stay. I'll stay with Derringer. Quick
Okay.
one shot.
All right.
Did I learn anything about alchemy while we were on the road from Bruno?
Did he?
I don't know, DM. Did he?
You guys already learned how to do more for.
I showed him how to. I showed him how to reliably make alchemical fire. I think that's good for right now.
Okay.
If I can think of anything else that'd be fun or interesting, I'll show him later. Like I might show him how to make a smoke bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show him how to make a smoke bomb. Can I?
Sure. Yeah.
What do you want me to roll?
Straight intelligence check. This is imparting knowledge.
Okay, so since I'm not straight crack, okay. That's a 7.
You get the basic premise over to Lindgren.
Well, would I be would I be making this while showing him or just speaking?
You would probably have like a little blueprint with you and kind of explaining it.
Could I add my my intuition dice?
Yes.
Let's fucking get it. Oh, Well, of course it doesn't, because I forgot the space. That's an 8 total.
Nice.
I
It was
taught
worth
you
a
just
try.
worst case scenario, I get +1. Well, I mean, unless he's gonna let me. Nah, we're not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna try and finagle this. If he doesn't understand how to make a smoke bomb, it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm. Make a straight intelligence roll to see if you understand, Lundgren.
Intelligence.
Yeah, that's pretty good for an intelligence of 10 or 11.
Yeah,
Yes.
no bonus.
You actually pretty much pick it up, and you kind of explain how it works, and Bruno's like, "Yay, he can learn." And now you know how to make smoke bombs.
Cool.
Ty, what is Lundgren's intelligence?
11. It's
11.
yeah.
I am almost double.
Okay. So you guys have made it into the city. What are you going to do?
Find some place to sleep.
Yeah, have the whatever the fuck.
Unless
Take us.
Bruno,
Take us directly to the nearest tavern.
Okay.
unless Bruno knows about something from his previous travels here, and we can just go there.
Nope, just business.
Okay.
Just business.
So you kind of ask around if there's a place to stay. They said there's 2 of them, 2 major ones in the city. They are the Last Stay and the Rock.
I'll ask the people a little bit about each one. Try to investigate a little bit.
Okay. You get that the Rock is this very cool. I mean, temperature-wise, this very cool inn. Is made out of an entire like block of stone, this massive boulder. That the story that the innkeepers have passed down from generation to generation is that a giant tossed the stone and it landed there, and people just carved into it and decided to make a hotel out of it. That is just a bowl that they have for like tourism, but it's still pretty impressive.
What's the tavern owner's name? Is it Dwayne?
No, it's not Dwayne.
That's cute.
Thank you.
It should be.
And what about the Last Stay?
The Last Stay is probably one of the longest running inns in the city. It was the old barracks prison until they just refurbished it and made a bigger one.
Okay. I think we should go check out the Rock. I feel good about the Rock.
Sounds good to me. Sounds nifty.
Yeah.
It seems like my kind of place.
Nature. Yep.
Okay, so you make your way to the Rock. It extends about 20, 25 feet in the air. It has a sloped roof and looks like a giant rock with doors and windows carved into it.
Okay. Excuse me. Let's head inside.
Okay, now it does get hot in Sula. It gets hot everywhere in Alton. And when you walk into the foyer of the Rock, it's immediate relief. It's at least 20 to 30 degrees cooler inside than it is outside. It's like walking into a cave, but it's a business. This very jovial man and with an enormous mustache and no hair on top comes out and he says, "Ah, guests. Yes, you are guests, aren't you?"
It depends. What's your price?
Oh, it's about 20 silver a night.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Anyone have any objections?
Nope.
Not me.
Fantastic. I'm Johnson Corbon. Nice to meet you.
Now,
This is-
Trent, is this place like empty?
From what you can see, the foyer is actually decently sized, but due to the nature of how they have to carve things out, they spent more time carving the rest of the rooms, not too much on having open, very wide doors. From what you can see, the like where people would be eating or sitting around, you really can't see them.
Okay, but it's a rock. It's pretty. It pushes back sound pretty well.
You can hear people moving around. There's also
Okay.
ambient noise outside of Sula. It does sound like this is not one of the places that people avoid. This is where people come to congregate, mainly because it's actually cool.
Okay. All right, guys. So, do we want to do a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B?
I'd say a bit of both. I want to see if we can go magic stuff shopping.
Well, Lundgren, you are the leader, so I'll let you lead.
Yeah, I mean, I suggest. What time of day is it?
It is probably about 3:30, getting on tour 4.
Late afternoon.
Well, depending on how far we have to travel, the shops may close. Is there a shop nearby the
Are you asking
hotel?
Johnson Corbin, or are you asking the DM?
I'd ask either one, but I mean, I could ask the.
Well, Lundgren, what we could do is, since it's getting later into the evening, why don't we just hold off on the shopping till tomorrow? We'll walk around town, take a look at stuff right now, since it should be cooling down soon, and get an idea for what we want to see tomorrow. How does that work?
Yeah, I think that would work better because I'd realize that depending on how big the city is, by the time we get to any shops, even if we get directions after wandering around, they may be closed and then we're out. So yeah.
Okay. There you go.
So, do I deduct my 20 silver then, or?
Are you going to pay the man?
But yeah, I mean, I was thinking
first,
that we'd all get
let's figure
separate
out
rooms.
let's figure out how long we're gonna stay here.
I figure at least a couple days.
So let's go ahead and pay for 3 days,
Okay, yeah.
and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, so 3 days would be
60 silver.
60 silver. Oh man, I only have 53. Darn it! It's 100 silver or gold, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can fix this. My arithmetic. So 60 silver. Okay, I think I got it.
Okay. Okay. So you hand over the silvers. Ah, yes, thank you. Did you know that this hotel was carved from the rock a stone giant named Darius threw into the middle of Olton?
Insight.
Okay.
That's a 14.
Despite the fact of what you know from around town and what he says, the best you can tell is that he at least probably believes the story.
He drank the Kool-Aid.
But for all you know, he could be telling the truth and everyone else is just trying to taunt him.
I doubt a giant threw it. And that he knows the giant's name. I just want to say that real quick. Number one, I don't think he speaks giant. It's not a common language. I don't even speak giant. And I know a bunch of weird shit.
If we could get him to write it down for us.
Nah, it'd be alright. Let's go take a look around.
Okay. Like in the city or in the
Oh, in the city, is there a bar?
there
in that-
are like
In
a
the, no,
bar on
in
every
the
street.
tavern
Oh, the
where
tavern
we're
at the inn.
staying. Yeah.
There is kind of I guess it's like more not necessarily self-serve. It's more of a place to eat, not necessarily a place to drink. But they do offer alcohol.
But I have to say, but I can buy alcohol there, correct?
Yes.
I would like to buy a bottle of liquor, not wine, specifically liquor.
Okay. They'll probably cost you 20 silver.
Done.
What
Easy.
have you got
Done.
planned?
It's a fail safe.
Oh,
Oh,
out of DM character. I've used this trick before. If that's the one I'm thinking
Fail-safe.
of.
Well,
All right,
it
so-
might be. We'll find out if anything happens. Just because, listen, it's a new city. I haven't been here in a while. Last time I went anywhere with you fuckers, I got shot at.
This is true. All right. So they give you a bottle of alcohol. It's
Roughly-
clear. It's probably about the size of maybe a fifth.
Okay. And
It's,
could
it's
I
good.
could I get a taste and be like, oh, what's the rough proofage?
This is almost like rubbing alcohol in its intensity.
Perfect.
It's
I
it's
wanted to
very
know.
coarse moonshine.
Very good.
the more alcohol-y, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
It's probably closing in on 80% alcohol.
Okay. That'll do it.
Okay.
As long as it's more than rum, you're good.
Yeah. It's probably more than Army Royal Navy gin.
Gin's never had a very high, um, alcohol percentage, actually.
Yeah.
Simply because the process of making alcohol involves a lot of sugar. That's why rum traditionally has a higher alcohol percentage, is because it's invented in the Caribbean islands where they farmed sugarcane. They had ready access to a excess of sugar.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Very nice.
It's also where the term proof came from. It was pirates' proof that it was alcoholic. It would burn. That's why certain alcohols, like below a certain proofage, it doesn't actually burn that well. There's not enough excess alcohol in it.
Another interesting fact: Royal Navy gin was 80 proof because it was the lowest they could get to actually have gunpowder work if it was drenched in the stuff. Hence that. Okay. You have your very, very potent alcohol. What are you guys doing?
Let's see. I'm gonna make some perfume in my room.
We're walking around the town, dude.
Oh, I forgot about that. Never mind.
That's why I got the fail safe.
Oh,
Fuck it, you stay home, I'll go walk.
no, I'm with you. Do we have any shops laid out?
I don't know. Do we have any shops laid out? Are you going to explore the city?
Oh, I am. I'm just seeing a lot of like very intricately drawn stuff, and I don't know like what's what just yet.
Okay. I'd never actually pointed out any of the shops in the other cities either.
Okay, well,
Okay. If you could just point out on the map where we are, like put a little red dot, like this is the rock.
Yeah. Let me just get my handy dandy drawer thing. It's pretty much this place. That circle right there, that's the rock.
So we're in the center.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be more stuff over here, but I think I drew it and they had my internet connection issues did not save what I put over here.
Okay. And so me having been here before a while ago, Do I remember roughly like what the districts were? Like, if you could show me like where's the like shopping district essentially?
The shopping district is the denser part, like in the center and to the west. No, it's mainly in the center. The city center is the shopping district. That's where you have most of the inns. Other places have a bunches of like bars and taverns and stuff, but for the most part, the central area the is the shopping district. It's kind of equidistant from all the various what's it called? All the various social places all have their goods sold in the city center.
I figured we could. Uh, I don't know how to delete, so you're gonna have to delete that for me. But I was figuring we could like walk around this area right here, outside the outside circle.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Do a quick loop, spend a couple hours just walking around, seeing what's what, seeing if anything catches our eye.
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh my God, Trent, what did you do, dude?
I think I
Deleted
forgot.
half your boat.
I think I forgot to put that middle part in the map layer. I think I put
seems
most
like
of this. I think I put most of the stuff. I think I forgot to put most of the stuff in the map layer. Well, fantastic.
You should be able to like click on it and hit the delete button,
Yeah.
but it won't let me do that for myself.
There we go.
All right, so yeah, and anyone who'd like to come along is free to come along.
Yeah, let's go. I want to see what's to see in this town because I've never been here.
Okay, so you guys start going out in and around the rock. It's very bustling, especially as the sun starts to go down. People are starting to take advantage of the cooling weather, and it's
That's
kind
probably
of
it's probably very much a nightlife city, isn't it?
it is, especially due to other reasons.
Yeah, it's Rogas.
This sounds like a rogue's favorite city.
The Rogue's Den.
It might be.
Like I said, Trent, hand is on the Derringer in my pocket. Other hand is holding a bottle of what is essentially gasoline.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are just like looking around, scoping out places, taking in the food vendors. What?
Yeah, taking a look around. I'm gonna be listening out, see if anything piques my ears.
I wanted to keep an eye out for magic shops.
Okay. While there are magic shops within Sula, they're not in like the area around the inns. They're more like they're not necessarily holes in the wall, but compared to how much other stuff people are selling, they're holes in the wall.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna have to go in a bit more detailed excursion sometime later.
Or you could just, like ask for directions.
Is this a purge city?
Oh, you want to do it the easy way?
Purge City.
No,
Whatever do you mean?
Okay, so if I could ask somebody, I would just ask them if there are any magic shops around here.
Okay, you stop somebody. Say, hey, any magic shops around here? Oh yeah, there's one close by. He gives you like a rambling directions and says, "Look, if that doesn't help you, look for the Heaven's Light Emporium." That should help you.
Heaven's Light?
Yes. Wait, you can't hear?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And he goes about his business. There's a decent spread of different types of people in here. Some of them old, young, elf, human, some half orcs, a couple of dwarves, but they're all very hardy-looking individuals. You sample some food vendors. There's some really nice, like, equivalent of deep fried or at least battered stuff that people are selling on the street corners.
Deep fried.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. You probably spend like 5 silver over the course of the evening. A lot of the stuff is very cheap street food.
Even better. You said 5 silver.
Mhm.
I would also like to keep my eyes open for anything weird looking. You know,
Define weird looking.
uncommon materials.
Oh, like stuff that you would
Items.
be. All right.
Someone hawking, interesting alchemical stuffs. Whether it be
There's a number of
poison.
people.
Nature stuff?
Nature stuff, you said?
Yes.
There's people selling dried herbs. There's at least 3 to 4 individuals alone that you've seen kind of at intersections selling jewelry draped all the way up their arms and hanging from the insides of robes and things like that. It's very much what you would think a very eclectic flea market would look like, made to fit the size of the city of Sula. There's also a couple of like gem stalls and a few other things like pharmacists, snake oil sellers. Some people are even selling arms and armor, but for the most part, there's like scarves, dresses, clothing, adventuring equipment, just like all these little stalls. Some of them are even stacked up on top of each other. Like there's one place where it's 2 levels of like 20 feet tall, but each set of 10 is a different shop.
Tread would have got excited if someone said arms and then looked and been disappointed.
There are a number of like severed animal limbs cooked in full. Like there's the equivalent of like some of them are even a little shady compared to some other things, but there's like giant insectoid legs and a few other things like
Tread wants to buy those.
okay. They're a little bit more expensive. It probably costs you about 6 silver for 2 legs.
Sold.
All right. There's also a number of things like parts of cows, pigs. Pretty much, if it has at one time moved, they're selling it as food here.
Human?
You maybe not openly, but probably not. Probably not bipedal humanoids here, at least in the open.
Tread's gonna eat one of those insect legs.
Okay. It kind of reminds you of the prawns in the swamps, and that you would find in like the forest streams back in Sarand, but on a much grander scale.
Oh, that's good.
That, and it also has a slightly more like mesquite flavor, so it's a little bit more savory from the wood smoke that they use to help cook and preserve these.
Would I be able to ask them where they got the insect?
Yeah, you could.
Where did you get this?
We got them from the catacombs, and also some of them are wandering around outside in the wastes.
Good to know. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Have fun hunting them if you want more. We get them at a premium.
Are you?
I think I
How
can
much
hunt
do you
for
ask,
myself.
or do you give for them?
Oh, we generally get the priority, so just whatever's left over. Sometimes there's big pieces, sometimes there's little pieces. So we get it for 30 silver for probably a day's worth of meat. And he points to the 2 large legs that Tread is slurping out of. It's probably about 3 to 4 times what your friend here is eating. It all depends. Sometimes there's more, sometimes less.
Side note: Tread's also eating the chitin, the shell, the exoskeleton.
You just hear. Yes, it's a very delicacy. It's very similar to fried pig's ears. You see on the side, there's like little bits of chitin that are like have been carefully shaved off and cooked for their own purpose of eating them like chips.
Oh man, I like this place.
Is there anything else? We got a variety of rat's tails, and he does mean rat's tails. We got larger ones. We got full sides. We got specialized jerky. What do you want?
I mostly just wanted the insects. What are they called?
We call them crave crawlers, but some people think they're kind of like crabs. Some people think them like mantises. I've never seen a mantis, so I couldn't confirm.
Good to know. I will catch them myself.
A task and a half that would be. That's when, and you see the leg is probably, when you stand it on the end, it comes about to half up to the bottom of Tread's rib cage, and then it curves forward, and that's one of the small ones.
Even better.
Okay then. All right.
I may be coming back to see you later.
Well, if we have more, I might be able to put some aside. If you leave a few silver to set some aside, we can keep some back for you.
I put down a gold.
Oh, this will get you say a fourth of each day's income, depending on what it is. Maybe 4 days or 4 days.
What do they call it in bars? A tab?
Yes, let's go with that. We'll put it under order. How about that?
Sure. I don't know what that means.
He kind of scribbles something down and says, as long as I know and you pay, it doesn't really matter. That does it.
True.
You see him kind of scribble something down, and you kind of squint. It kind of looks like Lizard Dude, or the equivalent thereof. And he kind of slips it elsewhere. Oh, you have a good evening.
You as well.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Tread's just gonna eat the crap out of those.
he's happily munching along as you guys make your way through the rest of the food districts and the kind of the stuff. It goes everywhere from home goods to food to adventuring. So, you guys want to turn in for the night, or do you want to stop by the Heaven's Light Emporium?
How close to closing time is it?
You've been walking through this very eclectic place for a while. It might be getting close to closing, but they do stay open late here because of the heat.
Okay, well, I'd suggest, well, not suggest. I'd like to see if we can make a foray into the Emporium and then maybe come back later if we need to do anything more in depth.
Okay, you make your way towards the Emporium, and it's a little less eclectic looking than the rest of the place. Like someone actually put some time into the storefront. There is like a pane of glass in the front, but there's panes of glass all over the place. But it looks like it's just like someone put a little bit more polish into this place. Like so they got done with their days of adventuring to say, you know what, I really want to make a magic item shop. And as you get in close, the door still has the sign that says open on it, and you knock and you enter, and it's this kind of narrow little building, but it looks really nice inside. There's a long kind of counter that leads into the side wall, and then there's kind of like series of large bookcases that serve as shelves behind that. And this the area where people are going to be cashiering is an alcove built in front of that area, and then it leads back into a much larger space for items. At the sound of the little bell, a man, really pale looking, comes up from the back-ish room where they have all the stuff, and he says, "Oh, customers." Kind of checks around and says, we're getting ready to close, but I'm sure I can take any orders or requests if it's really quick." I'm the
Okay.
Well, do you do custom work?
Not any, not very in-depth custom work. It's a little bit beyond me, beyond some basic enchantments, and by that he means stuff like just merely improving something to not tear as much, and by that only for like a set of workman's gloves, not anything super large. It's mostly buy sell trade here.
Okay.
Think of it as a pawn shop for interesting items with this flair for the arcane.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Anyway, how may I help you? He kind of looks
well-
more puzzledly at Lundgren, but kind of looks at the rest of the group as well. Leaning in on his table or counter.
So you say you do buy sell trade. Do you have any like scrolls on hand that have come in that you sell that are say from 2 to 2nd to 4th level?
Scrolls. You see, the thing about scrolls is they're kind of one use. And most of the things around here have seen better days or have been used. We don't get a lot of scrolls, especially from like expeditionary troops down into the catacombs. Those stuff probably is either really too hard to get to or has been used or destroyed in the process. So maybe a couple months ago, I might have had like basic cantrip scrolls, but scrolls are just not the thing that gets traded in around here.
Okay, so what does mostly get traded around here? Like armors, weapons?
Oh yeah, armors, weapons, magical jewelry, stuff that improves like your abilities. Just some really oddball things just come in here and either stay on my shelves for years, or gets snatched up so quickly that I don't know if I even put it down before someone said, "I want that," and bought it.
Hmm.
Do you have any magic stabs?
I might. What are you looking for?
Something that is more my style? I don't know.
He kind of looks at you, takes in the furs, takes in the brown scales, takes in the ogre skull shield. And what is that style?
Nature?
Nature. Okay, let me check. And he kind of brings out this book and he flips it open, and you see it's just page after page of sold and or in stock items, and he checks out what specifically kind of nature are you looking for? Something to boost nature, something to control nature, what?
He probably out of character. He probably thought about it as much as I did. He probably thought about it more than I did, but I haven't really thought about it.
Out of character, do you mean something like an arcane focus?
I was thinking more like a spellcasting staff.
Oh, so something kind of like a wand of spell storing or something like that.
Yeah, or like specifically, I was hoping for a staff of the woodlands.
Staff of the
Oh.
Woodlands. Let me just check to see what that is. Okay. Staff of the Woodlands. Magic core staff +2 damage rolls. Yeah. He probably would have something like that. Oh, well, we have a moderately used Staff of the Woodlands if you are interested.
I'm a druid. We're all about recycling.
A druid, a lizard folk druid. I never thought I'd see the day to have one of them walk in here, let alone a druid. This is, if you haven't really noticed, this is a desert and there's not a lot of plants between you and me. Sorry, there are not a lot of noticeable plants. Let me get it for you. And he goes in the back room and he brings out a Staff of the Woodlands. And you've probably seen Staff of the Woodlands before. This one has a series of very deep gashes in it, not enough to like make it structurally damage its structural integrity, but it looks like it probably has been used to either stop a few blades or something has been clawing and gnawing at this thing.
It's got some personality.
It has a lot of personality. It's very well carved with like a moderate woodland scene at the top, but that's kind of marred and gashed with these big nicks and somewhat worn grooves that definitely were not part of the original design. And it kind of goes halfway down the staff. It says, hopefully, this will serve you better than its last user. This got drug in with some unfortunate adventurers who thought they could go into the catacombs without really thinking about it. And
We could probably
And they
go
met
into
their
catacombs
end.
without thinking about it.
That's what I was about to ask: is where are these catacombs?
And where can we go to not think about them?
Yeah.
well, the catacombs are underneath. How much do you know about Sula? And he asks you this.
Generally,
Yeah, what brings you here?
This is my first time being here.
Okay.
Tread just blinks like one eye at a time. Just passing through.
Due to the nature of this item and how damaged it is, getting down to business first. I'll probably set you about 2,000 gold.
you
We've
said
got
the
that,
item.
right?
Yeah, we've got that. I can say that through the earring. We've got that. It's fine. Now you said it hasn't damaged the structural integrity. If we wanted to get it repaired, would you be able to do that for us or no?
I've had this thing in stock for months. You think I wouldn't have repaired it if I could?
Let me.
True.
I'd like to talk to the man. Can I make an investigation check on the item to see quite how damaged it is?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Might be a 20.
Okay, it's a lot of what seems to be superficial damage with some 1 to 2 like really deep gashes that they're not worrisome, but if you were to spend a couple of days working on them and hitting the same spot over and over and over again, it might start to be a problem. But due to the magical nature of the item, it probably isn't going to break.
Okay. Could I use persuasion to bring that down to 1,500?
You can try.
That's an 8, so I'm gonna say no.
Well, let's find out. Yeah, no. It's like I really do respect the effort you're putting into to get this particular item down a little bit. I get it, but I have to run a business here, and this is kind of a rarity around here.
How about this? How about we work out a trade?
Well, that depends.
I'll
What are you
pull
gonna
out-
trade?
I'll pull out 3 bombs and put them on the table. Do you know what these are?
Yo, yeah, these are really common here, at least.
Okay.
Kind of rolls them in his hand. These are a lot better than the ones they generally show up around here.
I tell you what. You knock off 1,000, so we only pay 1,000 gold for this. I'll give you those 3 bombs, and I'll repair one item. Any item you bring me, I'll repair it right now for you.
Oh no, that does sound like a deal. I have just the thing. He sweeps the bottles and takes them with him, and he brings out this like really heavy looking set of armor that has these enormous gashes through it. Like it looks like a big set of claws went through the chest plate and killed whoever was probably inside it. And it says, this one has a really kind of tricky enchantment. I was hoping to get a lot better price, and no one really wants to buy secondhand armor with. And he kind of holds it up and peeks through one of the armholes through the front with such character as this, shall we say? It doesn't give a vote of confidence.
Okay, I'll take my time and I'll cast mending on it as many times as I need to
Okay.
to repair all the holes.
It takes
You
a
can do
couple.
that.
Takes a couple casts of mending, but
Yes,
you eventually
I
get the
can
whole.
do that.
You eventually get the whole thing fixed. It's like marvelous. Thank you. That's still 1,000 gold.
If you want me to repair something else, we can work out a further deal to where I can repair something else for you that, would make you a lot of money if it was repaired.
Well, you see, most of the stuff that I have that's either damaged. I don't really have anything else besides this that I really want to get going. Maybe if you come back in a couple days, maybe I have something else you can fix. Maybe we can work out something else.
So, is there a lot of back and forth with trading for you then
Mm.
every day?
Oh yeah, yeah. Adventurers, town guard, parts of the army, interesting clients. They all just show up. I'm in and out of the store and in the back all the time, and there's a lot of quick turnover. There's a few ones like that staff that right there that just kind of sit until the right buyer comes around, but there is a lot of demand for some of the stuff that I have. Some of it comes back within a week too, unfortunately.
That sounds ominous.
Also, since Tread has the bag of holding, he's going to hand over the money for the staff.
Thank you. He kind of carefully puts it in like little bags and stuff and slips it behind the counter.
And I don't know if this will work, but I have Druid Craft, which makes flowers blossom, seed pods open, leaf bud bloom. Maybe if I use it on use it on the staff, maybe that help fix it up.
I would say that like most of the significant damage would be able to be healed over with this druid crafting.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, so you just see Tread in the corner, just kind of lovingly stroking the woodland staff, and it's getting better as he does that.
My precious.
Well, yeah. So, what really does bring you guys to Sula?
Big vacation.
Yeah.
An interesting choice. Most people just say business.
Same thing, I think.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Well, when you
For
like
sure.
when you like your work as much as we do.
Yeah, well, it seems like you seem to be more of the type who needs my work more than I need yours. But no offense, by the way. But I am interested into knowing why you're traveling with an Azamar and coming to Sula.
We've been traveling companions a long time as far as that goes.
Insight check. Why is he being so questionable? 14.
He seems curious about the Asimar thing and why it's connected to Sula.
Have you never seen an Asimar before?
I've seen it every day when I look in the mirror.
Okay.
You don't usually see a lot of them in this side of the town. Although it's quite interesting that you've come to Sula because, at least within Asimar history, is quite an interesting place.
Why is that?
Oh, why is that?
Oh, that's right. You guys haven't been here very long. You haven't seen the murals yet. Oh, you're in for a treat. How about this? He kind of checks the time. I am like 5 minutes late for closing. I can take you to see the murals tomorrow, and maybe then you'll probably understand why I'm so interested and why you brought Nasamar to Sula.
Okay. What time tomorrow?
Oh, early, sometime about 8, before it gets super hot.
Too
Ugh.
hot. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that if the rest of the guys are okay with it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to grab some items, but I could do that tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can definitely do. I can show you my whole set in the back. It'd be a lot cooler in here than it would be on the street. We can do that maybe like after lunch. How's that sound?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, fantastic. Now, I unfortunately have to shoo you out of my shop as much as I love having customers, but I need to get ready for tomorrow and sleep. So, if you don't mind.
Understood. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye. And as the moment you go out, boom, and the door, the signs flip to closed. The door's locked. The drapes are drawn, and you're out in the street again. And
Shop's closed. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
yeah, like you were impressed by the speed at which the door is locked, the blinds are closed, and the sign flipped by the time you get out of the door.
Multiple casts of Mage Hand. I may be willing to bet on that.
No,
Maybe
he's
not.
super fast.
He's just a fast guy.
He's a rogue.
Yeah, maybe. Don't know yet.
This guy probably would be a rogue, for all I know.
So that was interesting. So the shop, if he doesn't have a lot of weaponry, it's probably going to be hit or miss with this shop, I would say, for us
Well,
magical people.
You didn't ask for weaponry.
Well, yeah, I know. We can do
I'm
that
not looking for
tomorrow.
weaponry.
If he has better than +1s, I'd like to look into that. And anything Brock would want to look at.
Anything
not
to help
that I would.
be a bit quicker on my feet.
Oh, so dexterity boosting
Yeah.
items. He said he had like jewelry and stuff, so we could ask him about that tomorrow.
Okay. What do you guys do now?
Drool over my new staff.
You still have a few crunchy bits of insect leg left too.
I eat them.
Okay.
We're
You
gonna have
see-
to get more.
On the way back to the inn, you see just Tread like rubbing himself and rubbing his face on the staff that he has, and it's a little uncomfortable, but it's kind of like the same way you get when you have a puppy with a new toy.
Or a cat who loves you.
Puppy with a new toy. All right, anything else, or are you guys gonna just turn in for the night?
If it's really late and stuff, I don't think I'd really want to try to do alchemy in the room as far as that goes. Unless I'm gonna make soap.
Okay, so Sula stays up late, for lack of a better term. Ow. And yeah, you guys go to bed comparatively early for the rest of the city, but the night passes with that incident. It's pretty nice. It's very comfortable to sleep here. You have experienced that they have attempted to cool down the rooms that you stay in other places, but this one is just like a nice steady temperature.
Okay. Because of all the stone.
Yeah, you get up. There's a pretty filling breakfast. It's not amazing by any means, but it's better than nothing, and it's probably a few steps above from the other places that you've been in, but definitely not the Oasis.
That's fine. So Is it about time between like 8 and 10 o'clock to head over to the shop?
You can head
To
over
have-
there now.
Oh, yeah, because I don't know comparatively how long it would take us to travel there based on what time we agreed to be there for the tour, for lack of a better term. So, yeah, we should probably go over there then, in case it takes a while.
You get there right around 8 or so, and you see the store already seems to be open. He sees you through the window, and he's like, he calls out like the 1 minute finger, and the blinds close, and the thing go, and he puts the sign like, be back in like however many minutes, and he says, ready to go? Kind of
Yeah, if you are.
puts on like a small coat to go around in. All right, come on, let's go to the murals.
I still have my hand in my pocket on the Derringer. I'm
You
still
still have the
carrying.
bottle of alcohol?
Yeah, I still have that too.
Awesome.
Also,
Hey,
we
good
have
luck.
two dire wolves and a giant elk.
Oh, that's a neat trick. Is that part of what you could? Oh, I see. I see the bag of mini tricks. It's been a while since I had one of those in stock.
It is one of my favorite things.
Do you want me to like let you know if you stay long enough if I get any of them? Maybe put them aside.
I could summon more animals. I just get one of each bag of tricks and just summon all of them in the morning every day.
You just see like the look of like I could rule the world with this cross tread Scala's face. He's like, I'll take that as a yes. I'm Arnhem, by the way.
Earning him. Okay.
Since
Uh,
Are we
since
still in the shop?
no, you're outside. He's come out to where you guys are. Now, we'll take you over to one of the more impressive murals. The reason why, I'm asking about your friend here, whose name I don't remember because I don't think you gave it. And who are the rest of you anyway?
I'd let my friends introduce themselves if they'd want to. My name is Lundgren Bask.
Okay.
Tread Scala.
Jet Scala, nice to meet you.
Bruno Watts.
Bruno Watts, interesting.
Watts.
Watts or Watt?
Watts. Singular.
Singular. All right. And you, and he kind of looks up at Rocked.
My name is Franz.
Franz. Nice. Okay. No last name, Franz?
No.
Yes, I see that. You seem to be one of the people from outside of the city. Probably one of the tribes. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was raised a slave, so I never got a last name.
That's a horrible way to get it up, but you seem to be growing up big and strong. Now,
I've made the best of it.
oh, good. Now, let's go. He leads you winding through the streets onto the southeast side of the city, and he brings you to like the side of one of the walls. This is the mural. And you see, like, along the inside, for pretty much as far as the eye can see, there is this massive mural, almost fresco-like in its design, across the entire, like, bottom 30 feet of the wall. And these are huge walls, and these are huge murals. And he brings you to, like, the this one focal point on it, and the entire mural is kind of like Renaissance era, not Renaissance era, medieval era, Dante's Inferno style. It's not happy murals. It says this right here, and he indicates. Hang on, let me check my notes. these murals tell a story of Sula, and you see like there's just wave after wave of goblins and orcs and something that looks like a gray-skinned dwarf and dark-skinned elves are strewn throughout this entire place. Some of them in large clumps, some of them are like obviously leading the rest of them. And then right in the central area, there is this heavily armored, golden hair flowing, wings outstretched individual with his hands like clasped in front of him, a sword pointing down, eyes closed. This very beatific looking individual in the middle of it, just with litters of goblinoid bodies at his feet, and like anyone who's still standing is like being blown back, and there's just all this light coming off of it in the fresco. And it says, this tells the story of the reckoning. This is what makes the catacombs of today. A long time ago, probably well before any of us was born, except for the old commander, there was this massive conflict with the underground kingdoms. And they tried to make their way up through Sula. This is why we're the citadel, or not the citadel, we're the fortress. And there's this massive, I think the term is stopgap, underneath the city. And it's a city in itself underground. And there's still patrols that we send and secure areas underneath it. But we don't have as much control as we did then. And the reason why is this, and it indicates the entire mural. This happened. There was this massive push from the kingdoms underground trying to take over the kingdoms on the surface. And this individual, whose name might be lost to time, it's been a while since I looked into it, the Winged Terror, as they called him, was here and fought in like one of the last great battles that made Sula what it is. At that time, the walls either weren't as high or weren't even there. And then they started building all of this, and he indicates the enormous ballista pointing in. Says, and from that time, people have been worrying about the kingdoms coming back up. And this is why you see those pointed in. Because at one point, there was an enormous conflict inside the city, and the only thing that kept it from spreading to the rest of Alton was the wall.
This underground kingdom that came from below to make war, was it a bunch of kingdoms at once, or did it have like a name?
There was a number of kingdoms. It's been a while since I've had to study my my history on the subject, but it was definitely more than one. It was shall you say, an alliance.
Okay. So you mentioned history. Do you have libraries here?
Probably. Not really my type of thing. I spend most of my days in the shop.
That's fine. We can look around. That's fine.
Well, unless you want to look at the mural some more, how about we go get some lunch?
I want to look at the mural briefly, and then we can go to lunch. Maybe another couple minutes.
Okay. It's he kind
Real
of
quick.
checks the sun and says, it's most of the good spots aren't really open.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can spare a few minutes.
Okay, I want to look at it some more.
You all right? Do you want to make an investigation check or something else? What do you want to do with the mural?
I'd like to look at it, but I don't know what I'm for. Like anything that matches up with what I've studied about either my kind or the Lumbian civilization, which is what I really want to try to tie this to, because I think that's what.
All right, so you want to look for any Lumbian related, for lack of a better term, iconography in the mural.
Yeah, or something about, because people are always talking about this war from below and like they quelled it, and it seems like a bunch of kingdoms and societies are telling different versions or different parts of the same story.
Okay. Make That's not investigation in this version, is it?
That would be history.
Let's see. Yeah. It's an investigation check would probably be more what you're going to be looking at. So roll me an investigation check, if you will. Okay. I'll say you have advantages. You kind of know what you're looking for, and you also still had some memory of the books. You find maybe a couple 100 feet to the left of the Winged Terror. There is like a handful of elves and dwarves amongst a big other group of them that looks like they have Lumbian sigils on their equipment. Like there's maybe 5 of these guys, and then there's like 6 to 7 different other like unit markings and sigils on the armor of the people surrounding them, and it looks like they were a very small minority, at least within this force, according to the murals.
Okay, and about Saronicus?
I didn't hear anything about Saronicus.
Okay. Well, do you want me to roll another check for that? Obviously.
Yes. You do find one section of it. There's in various parts of the mural, there's like these small pockets of resistances, and sometimes there's like very evenly matched groups of people fighting against all these goblins and drow and Duergar, and then there's a few other ones as well where there's just like this very tiny like group of quote unquote heroes that are completely surrounded. And then the next part of the thing shows that they are still holding their own, and it seems like it tells a number of days. And there's like 1 to 2 groups that still have that little star on them. It's not a group of individuals. There's like one guy who seems to be put throughout this entire thing that has that star on his equipment or on his necklace.
Okay, so they were fighting them. Apparently, a lot of different groups were still fighting whoever this ended up as.
And in this mural, it's not the Saronicus, who you can only assume to be Saronicus or someone who has his symbol. It's not Saronicus fighting the other underground or fighting the side that had the Winged Terror. It's fighting with the Winged Terror.
Okay.
He is pretty much defeating most of these drow and goblins as good as the Winged Terror, but not to like. Through the way you look at it, it looks like if the Winged Terror was George Washington, it might have been more along the lines of like Paul Revere. It's a name of an individual or enough credence given to them that they are famous for doing this, but they don't take as much of a central role.
Okay. That's interesting. I can't think of anything else to investigate as far as that goes. So for my part here, I'm done.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before you guys head off to lunch?
Not really. I mean, Bruno
Damn, I
doesn't
wish
really.
Frederick was here.
Bruno doesn't really know anything about the Lumbians and doesn't really have an interest. So.
Okay. So you guys head off to lunch. You are brought to a very nice little kind of like cafe area. It's not like the street vendors type. It's more of a nice open area to sit in. And it's called It's called the Palm, and it has kind of like palm tree motifs on it. And there's no actual like greenery inside the restaurant. There's just a lot of carvings of palm trees.
I can fix that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
One of the servers comes up and says, Mr. DeWalt, it's good to see you again. You have guests today. These are your guests, right? He leans over and says, yes, they are. A table for, he kind of counts you up and gives them the number and says, oh, right away. All right. Gotta love this place. You get seated and says, oh, by all means, this meal's on me. Since you are new to Sula and you have one of my technical kin with you.
I appreciate it.
Do they have cave crawlers?
I can ask. And he kind of waves one and says, do you have cave crawlers? This is yes, we have a small amount, though not a lot of people seem to like it, and we were considering cutting it from the menu. It's like, my associate over here wants some cave crawler. Oh, okay, sir. All right, we'll get you some cave crawler then.
Yes.
The food comes. It's very nicely seasoned. It's hot. It's filling. It makes you kind of want to wish that you could come here again. And he says, you know what I like about this place? They offer really good, a good lunch, and it's also very cheap. And you see him hand over, it seems to be about maybe 60 silver worth. And he says, remember to send my dinner over to my store. But yes, sir. Good. It's very easy to get catering from here. It's a very nice place. Staff is very helpful. So, how are you enjoying Sula so far? I don't know how long you've been in the city, but it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Trish just going down on this freaking cave crawler.
Your friend seems to really like Cave Crawler.
Yes, it seems he does.
Well, hopefully if he stays, he'll join me for another meal. But outside of Sula, cave crawl is a rarity. Most of them think it'd be cheap junk. A lot of people in Sula will probably eat the scraps that they toss away in the oasis. It's a very freeing experience. Not necessarily if you have a very light stomach, but it's a waste not, want not kind of place. Hence, most of my business.
This place just keeps winning me over more and more.
Sula's a lovely place if you can get past the walls and the ballista.
Yeah, why are the ballista aimed inwards?
Oh, you remember the wars? There was one time when they broke through the catacombs, and the ballista either were not in place yet, or were in place and were helped turn the tide of the battle. And either once or twice it had happened before, and they thought, "Hey, let's put ballista in here." The wall is made to keep whatever's in the catacombs in addition to keeping anything outside out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very much a dual purpose fortification. I've studied it a little bit, especially since a lot of my customers kind of are officers and other things in there. It's a massive infrastructure in itself. And if you're really into military history, it is a fascinating study. He kind of tries to read the room, just like, should I keep talking or is this boring them?
These catacombs.
Yes.
Where should we gain access to them?
Oh, there's a few areas around the center of the city, just outside of the markets. People don't really like being around the major gates, but they're heavily guarded. People are free to pass in and out as they want, but most people in Sula are prepared for the day when maybe another push, because after the incident that caused the ballista to be up here, there's also was an incursion of very large, very vicious creatures such as cave crawlers and a few other things that it's definitely. I would say Sula would rank higher on the scale of danger than even the most dangerous and lawless areas of the Oasis, and even places as far south as Giva. And it's not from the crime; it's more of from the creatures that have now decided that the catacombs is their territory, and why garrisons are kept there and kept in the walls as well. And why you see most of the people around here being more adventurers like yourselves, or a little bit better equipped than, say, your average merchant traveling throughout Olton.
I think I'd like to take a look in the catacombs.
Oh, well, that is definitely an interesting proposition. I would not go in there. I've been there before. I much prefer selling things in my shop, but I'm sure I can get you in contact with one of my associates who spends an unbelievable amount of time in the catacombs.
We don't really need a guide. Really just need to be pointed in a direction how to get into it.
And also where the cave crawlers are.
No, he would know what the cave crawlers are. He's part of one of the groups that tends to go in there, clear out kind of the more traveled areas, and deals with incursions, for lack of a better term.
Hmm.
What do you guys say? You want to go?
Yeah, I'd say for my part, I want to go. Yeah.
Tread's finishing the cave crawler. Yes.
Franz?
Oh.
Rock?
He's muted. Muted.
My bad. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's do it then.
All right. So
Oh.
it's about slightly after midday.
I thought we were going back to my shop to do a bit of shopping beforehand. I would suggest doing that before you go into the catacombs.
That also sounds good.
All
I wanted
right.
to see if there's any other stock for things like jewelry and weaponry that a magic user could make use of,
Magic.
or maybe a barbarian.
Character, you gotta give me something to work here, man. This is like what you're looking for specifically, so I can see if he probably have it. Because it's just like magic stuff. I run a magic shop.
I'm not sure. He said he didn't have a lot of scrolls or anything like that, so I won't be able to get a lot of new spells. I mean, if he has any weaponry or armor that's better than +1, that's something I'd want to look at. Or something to maybe increase dexterity.
Or
That's
a wand or something that'll help your spell casting.
Yeah, something of that nature. And I don't know enough about D&D to tell you what you need to know to figure it out.
Okay.
There's a thing for warlocks called, I believe it's the
I think he has it.
Rod of the Pack Keeper.
He has
Yeah,
it.
he already has one.
I have one of those. Yeah.
Level though, they do have higher levels of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He says, oh, I'll see what I have, and he goes in and says, let's see, I got a cloak of protection. I know that a lot of spellcasters don't like wearing heavy armors unless you're like clerics, like the Winged Terror. Well, we have one of those. I think that we also have a cloak of the Mana Ray, which is odd. Don't know why someone would use that in the desert, but
Is that out of character? Is that like the water breathing one?
Yeah, that's what we have.
Okay.
I forgot you guys had. It's like, didn't I give this one to somebody before?
There was something about you could breathe for however many minutes if you put the hood up.
You can breathe underwater, and you have a swimming speed of 60 feet.
Yep.
Okay. So we already have one of those. So cloak of protection would be like
Plus 1 on AC and plus 1 on saving throws.
hmm,
Literally any of us could use that.
do you have more than one of it?
No, I just have one.
That's too bad.
Oh, these things sell like hotcakes when we do get them.
That explains it. Okay.
Any wands, like wand of
Yep.
fireballs or something like that.
I do have a wand of magic missiles in stock.
You might want to get that. That's pretty good.
Okay, wand of magic missiles. If I could spell the word missiles. Cloak of protection, wand of magic missiles, and I think that was about it. So if I were to buy those from you today, how much?
It's probably about 3,000.
3,000.
Combat wands really go fast and are at a premium.
I'd imagine so. I want to.
Don't have to.
What?
We don't have to. It's just one.
No, I want TO, not TWO. Not I want to have to. I was just going to say I want to see if I could roll persuasion to get them down to 2,500 or so. I don't know. Just
You
for
don't
fun.
have to say that in character. You just have to express that would you like to try to use persuasion.
I want to try to use persuasion on them to knock 500 GP off the total price there.
Okay.
That's a no.
Everyone
I think.
so
He's-
great at persuasion.
He's like, he looks at you like, you know what? I like you guys. You seem like a nice bunch. I really enjoy taking you to murals. Not a lot many people seem to be all that interested in that. I'll take 500 GP off, also because you guys can repair some of my stuff as well. He rolled a 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was with that's with the +5 bonus I get. That was that crappy roll there.
No, he rolled a 5 to resist.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I don't suppose he'd have an insignia of claws.
A what?
An insignia of claws. It's like a necklace thing that increases unarmed strikes and natural weapon attacks.
I thought you were looking for this one before, if I remember correctly.
I was. I
Look at
keep a
that.
list.
Well,
Literally anything that'll help with wild shape. That's my concern. My only other concern besides the staff.
he's like, the only like druid related thing was that staff that I sold you last night, but I can keep an eye out because we do get a lot of interesting customers
I would
and
appreciate.
former customers.
Hey, I'm looking for something that could help me be a bit quicker on my feet, a bit more dexterous.
We have a couple of rings of agility.
Okay. What kind of a bonus?
I think the highest one we got is +2.
So +2 modifier, or
If I remember correctly, the +2 is go to the base stat, so it would be no. That would make it 4 to whatever your dexterity is, so you have a +2. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And how much would that run?
He kind of thinks about it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's look at the compendium. Wait, what was it? Ring of Jinn summoning.
Jinn summoning?
Jinn, like the
Gaijin.
evil genie. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Jinn, like Gin.
No,
The-
like the genies.
Fridge.
The
would be
gin,
pretty
not the alcohol.
That would
Limitless
actually-
gin.
But what if it summoned a gin with gin?
who's
A gin,
only
if you will.
could only grant
Um,
wishes connected to alcohol. That might actually be good too.
He says, that also be about 3,000. They're hard to enchant, and a lot of people want to improve on their, how
No
fast
worries, I can handle that. That's not as much as I expected.
Well, they are used.
Anything
Well,
to boost wisdom?
I got a +1. It's a ring.
+1 is in like the modifier or the total?
The modifier that you get is +1.
Okay. How much would that be?
I'd probably be about 1,000.
Do we have that?
Yes, we do. I say it through the earring. Yes, we do.
I will dip into the funds for that.
Okay, so 2,500 for the cloak of protection and the wand of magic missiles,
Mhm.
3,000 for the ring of agility +2, and the last item name I didn't get.
Ring of wisdom +1.
Okay, and for the ring of wisdom is another 1K, so 4K, 6.5K. It looks like.
Woo!
Oh. You wouldn't happen to have a +2 or maybe even a +3 for strength, would you?
Belts of giant strength are hard to come by around here. People generally take them off or keep them
Yeah.
because that's really useful down in the catacombs. Sometimes there's a couple of cave-ins that need to be moved, or there's just massive stone blocks. There's a huge weird lock system in one part, if I remember correctly.
I say through the earring, maybe if we find somebody with one of those belts, we could offer to buy it.
I'd be willing to pay a premium.
For I don't have any in stock. I don't have any in stock. I got one for a belt of dwarven kind. People don't tend to like those. I don't know why.
How is that different?
It makes you grow a beard, and it makes you see like a dwarf.
Trent Scala is so interested.
He wants to grow a beard, does he?
Have a beard.
He's a bearded lizard.
Does it also have benefits aside from glorious facial hair?
You gain dark vision, and you also can wield items that are of a dwarven leaning, such as the dwarven thrower that you guys once had and
We
sold.
sold that, didn't we? Because we can't. None of us could use that.
It's pretty much it makes you a tall dwarf.
Scaly dwarf.
Or a scaly dwarf. Yeah, that's what Tread wants. He wants to be the scaly bearded druid.
Bearded dragon. Bearded dragon.
I was gonna say, that's a real thing, isn't
okay,
it?
So, the belt of dwarven kind, it requires attunement. You gain an increase to your Constitution score by 2 to a maximum of 20. You have an advantage on persuasion checks when interacting with dwarves. You have a 50% chance each day of growing a full beard if you're capable of growing one, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one. Or if you aren't a dwarf, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on saving throws from poison. You have resistance against poison damage. You have a 60-foot dark vision, and you can read, speak, and write Dwarvish.
Those are all very useful things. I want it. If no one else wants it, I've already bought a lot of stuff. But I also bought a whole lot before this, so I don't.
I'm fine with you buying it, if you really wanted that. So wait, now, does that mean if he doesn't have the ability to grow a beard, that part of the description won't work?
That's what it sounded like.
I would say that just for flair, it would be magically create a beard on him.
Like a spike beard, like a bearded dragon, right?
You might be able to get into Amish territory with the beard you'd be able to grow.
Like Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars cartoon.
No. It'd probably be more like most of the people we know who have enormous beards.
No, I mean like as far as the shape, like the way it was drawn, it looked like it was chiseled.
No.
Okay, so I think that's really cool. I'm trying to visualize it. I mean, tread with a beard. That would be funny.
It would be a little like localized on his neck for the most part. It's like a ruff of hair. I might have two, but they're probably going to be about $1,000 a piece.
I want it.
He brings out, and they have like one's a little bit more dull looking than the other. One looks like it's been highly polished. It's like I got two options. Do you want both of them, or you don't want one?
I mean, does anyone else want one?
Me? No.
Just have an entire party full of dwarven kind belts. Everyone has this enormous beard.
Hell yeah.
You become ZZ Top in a day.
Oh man, that would be so cool, but he only has two.
You can find more. Also, afterwards, Craig, if you could send me your wish list, that'd be awesome.
Sure. I'll have to come up with more because I got most of them just now.
And also, this stands for anyone else. If you want something or have a list of something that you want, I can see what I can do. I just need to know.
Okay. I'll have to
Otherwise, it's entirely random loot from here on out.
I have to do some research in regard to specific loot.
Okay. It says, do
So
you
that-
want it? Do you not?
Yes.
All right. Which one do you want?
Is there a difference?
Into the
One's more highly polished. The other one's kind of more matte in color.
Matt?
All right. So he hands you like this burnished bronze belt buckle that looks like a dwarf's head belt, and it's like not necessarily as wide as the WWE Championship belts, but it's pretty thick. Yeah, 1,000 gold.
From the party bus, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we all can't hold that much.
Okay.
Well, I don't say that out loud, of course.
Yeah, takes out he takes the gold coins. Is there anything else?
Do you have any throwing weapons? Anything interesting?
I'll define interesting.
Strange? Different?
Unique.
Fire or lightning or both.
Yeah.
Fire or lightning.
Or both.
I haven't seen a javelin of lightning or javelin of fire in a long time. Generally, those actually get lost. You'd be surprised how many people I've seen in the comeback. It's like, I lost my javelin. Do you have it? And I was like, no, that was the only one they brought in. You see him kind of like make the gestures like, what do you think? This is a secondhand shop.
Yeah. I mean, all I've got is some of these plain ass javelins here, and they're kind of.
I'll be honest with you. I've never encountered an ass javelin. That sounds very interesting, but we don't have any interesting javelins here.
Yeah, it turns walls into ass when you miss your target.
Oh, that sounds strangely terrifying, but also intriguing at the same time. Where did you come across these?
So you said you can do light enchantments here?
Yes, but literally it's mostly mending or things that make it so that it's magical, not necessarily to the point that it can be enchanted beyond anything that is really, really hard to break.
Okay, so it's like magical effects, not necessarily making a magical item.
The items become magical.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I could say this into the earring. I didn't know if he could take one of your normal javelins and turn it into something more interesting
No,
if we left it with
that's well
after.
beyond his ability.
No,
His
definitely.
Hmm.
his
Okay,
stuff is mostly just
You could
like,
make it hard to break.
make it more durable.
Hmm? If you wanted him to do that, I mean, you haven't really broken your javelins throwing them into anybody yet, so.
Yeah, I have not yet. But they're also just falling behind as far as damage potential. So.
Okay, well,
But that's fine because I got other ranged weapons or ranged.
we might have to just either go to another shop or
What?
see if we can find somebody else who can help us out with that at some later time then. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to ask that I forgot to ask. Is this the only magic shop in the area?
There's the only one worth a damn. There's one guy who makes some stuff. He sometimes sells me like some off scourings, but he's for really high end clients, and he is booked to the gills if he had them. He's just constantly filling, and the way he's describing it makes it sound like he's Henry to Bruno, but instead of just one Bruno, there's bunches of them. He does almost entirely custom work, and he has been swamped. I do mean swamped for months. We haven't eaten out in a long time, and he was one of my very best business associates. He's just not getting out anymore, and I think he's starting to fall behind. He may even be taking on a new apprentice. But oh man,
Really?
he's not the kind of individual who's free anymore. And by that, I mean he is enchanting day in, day out.
So, like, even if we were to just, like, go visit him to, like, ask his assistant, like, what he's up to, could we go do that?
No, no. If he had an assistant, they'd probably be the type that he would get one who could enchant as well and start working on the backload.
Okay. That's interesting.
Is there anything else I can help you with? You see that people kind of like start to accumulate around the door of the shop.
I see you got other would-be clients. We'll get you out of your hair for now. I appreciate the tour. Well, we appreciate the tour and the food and this stuff we're able to buy and make use of. And we'll maybe catch you some other time. If not, it was good meeting you.
We should eat again sometime.
Arnhem. Yeah.
Arnhem de Walt. Yeah.
We should eat at least once a day.
Yes, we should, but I meant as a group. I do tend to eat more than once a day. But yes, I have other customers to attend to. You see some people start to enter and just kind of stand awkwardly in the corners. Like, yeah.
Right. We'll get out of here. Out of here. Okay.
Yeah, catch you later.
All right. Bye.
So you guys exit the shop, and like the influx of customers just kind of starts going. And some of them look like they're just freshly arrived. Others look like they've been here a while. Others are just like, oh my goodness, I don't want to meet them in a dark alley. And they just all start lining up along the street and going in when the first like group gets out, and the next group, and the next group, and the next group.
So maybe we can come back in a couple of days to see if he has any other interesting junk we can buy. Or want to buy. I don't know. Okay, so what time of day is it?
It's probably about.
I guess we should come back.
Yeah, he's enamored with the shop as far as that goes. With good reason.
It seems like he's enamored with the city, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay, so Cloak of is that in the compendium?
It is. Or
so I could theoretically drag it onto my bar.
Yeah.
And have it do something.
Standard items, yeah, it should be there.
Okay,
Out of character. Is haste a 5e spell?
Uh,
Yeah,
Is it?
mhm.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Haste a fucking great 5e spell.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you want to get that put into something, don't you?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean,
It
that's
does
what
make
I
me a
would
little
do.
sad that they took like Owl's wisdom and all that stuff and put them underneath one catch-all spell.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
It does make sense, but it
Well, I
like
did that. Wrong.
Owl's wisdom, bear strength, or bull strength, and all that other stuff makes it really easy to remember what the spell does instead of reminding that the spell does 6 other things than what it normally would do.
It does 1 of 6.
1 of 6. 1 of
Okay,
6, but
so-
then I have to remember that there's 6 other applications.
If my armor class was 16 before, that means it's now 17.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm trying to remember what the heck that's of.
Tread's got his belt on.
Where I put it at. Attacks.
Ooh.
Okay.
Are there any animals like in the city?
They're definitely cooked ones. There are some animals milling about. Obviously, you see like people's pets and stuff, but there's not as much of an animal presence in the city. Mainly because they're eating them.
Mhm. I can relate. Tread always likes to eat new things.
Eat new people, eat new friends.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Do we want to end about here so that the next part of is you going to the catacombs?
Sure.
I think that would be this is a swell stopper. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll catch you next time, whenever that may be, because it could be next week, it could not be. We'll catch you next time as they enter the catacombs of Sula. So cool music plays, the lights go down. We'll catch you next week.